Welcome back, awesome Action Toy fans and subscribers. We are not August anymore. We are Saturday, September the 2nd, 2023. Really nice picture on this Joytoy calendar from the Jing Hu series. She's a great figure. But today we are not looking at that. We are looking at the Warhammer 40k line. And we have the Black Templars High Marshall Helbrecht, or Helbrecht, or Hell, I don't know how to pronounce that, who looks fantastic on the front of the box here. Contains one 12.7 collector's action figure and accessories. Does look nice. There's a lot of gold going on in him there. Black and gold almost sounds like a Black Legion figure, but never mind. Does look nice. I do like that helmeted head. The unhelmeted head, not sure yet. Very, very cool indeed. Very nice to get a named figure for the Black Templars. Right, let me unbox him. Please consider joining the Patreon. Free for 7 days. You can see everything early that I put up before it's published, and sometimes it might take 3 weeks, even longer, even like sometimes 4 months plus for something to be published on YouTube. So it is worth doing that for 7 days and cancelling in those 7 days. Or you can join for longer and help support the channel. That's up to you. Link in the top right of the screen now. I'll be back in an instant with this bad boy setup. Stay tuned. And here he is. He is a very, very golden boy. He does look fantastic, and as with the new figures, he comes with a base. He comes standard with a right trigger, left gripping, but I've swapped them round to a right gripping and left trigger. So his right hand's all like the metal, and the left's are all the gold. The reason I swapped them round was he has a chain attached to his wrist. In fact, it's part of one mould, and that is for the sword specifically. We'll look at that in a second. So I swap the hands around so he has the sword in his left hand. Interestingly, he has a chain on his right hand. Sorry, he has a chain on his left hand, but isn't attached to the gun. So that's interesting. He also comes with this unhelmeted head, which is, yeah, I'm not really a fan of that one. I think the best unhelmeted heads they've done for 40k and the Salamanders, I think. This one, yeah, it's quite grimacing. It's a bit creepy, but it's not really doing it for me. Perhaps a bit more inking on that would be quite nice. Okay, so let's get a close look at him. And you'll see that the chain on his wrist is... Can that come off? I don't think it can come off. Or can it? No, it looks like it's one part. It's just attached to his wrist. And it comes when it attaches to the sword specifically in that place there. That's his sword should be in his right hand, and the gun has no specific chain to attach to it because this part doesn't attach, it just hangs down. So like a sensor or something. Someone can tell me what this is. I don't mean like a scanning sensor, like in old Fantasy Battle a sensor bearer for Skaven. Yay! Like that. Very, very cool. Great details. This gold really pops. There is inking on the gold. You can see some light inking down there, but it's too light. It needs to, like you look in the backpack, the top here, that groove needs to be darker going around that sort of groove there, which is a shame. There does need more inking there, but it looks fantastic. There is highlighting on the black, which is, you can see there, which is fantastic, but just inking on the gold would have made him pop a lot more. Even in the finger lines is lacking. So whilst there is some, or appears to be some, yeah, around the legs here, it's missing, or very, very light, or too light, or not there at all in other places. But he is a fantastic looking figure. Very nice indeed. The gun looks great. It's dry brushed. You've got these sort of different sort of brushing going on the gold with the silver there too. Looks cool. The highlighting on the cloak, which is attached to the front. Does it go via the shoulder? Let's have a look. It's attached to the pauldron. So if you take the pauldron out, I think you can get the cloak off, and it also via the normal method via the backpack plugging in. Nice highlight lines on the cape there, the cope on the cloak. A bit more heavy on the top than the bottom, but that's what you'd expect anyway. Not much going on there. He just looks really, really good. But he could have looked absolutely stunning, amazing, if done a bit more inking on the gold. But I am loving what I see so far. So let's get a look at his articulation. So I'll pop the gun out. The hands are much looser, so let me rephrase that, not so stiff. So also much more malleable, much more flexible. So it's very easy to put things in and out of the hands. They still grip well. Then the sword is just a pop off here and a pop off there. And I didn't see anything on the gun where that could attach to. So it's looking like you could, I guess, attach it to that or something, but it's not going to stay on very well. So it's looking like most people are going to doing him right-handed sword and left-handed gun. Okay, let's get that down. I'll keep the other chain on, straighten his legs a little bit. I'm not expecting any surprises with the articulation, but I do love that helmeted head so much. So let's get a look. So, oh, this one dropped off his wrist, the chain. Backpack, the nozzles do turn. Nothing else moves that I can see or articulates. Head is a nice left, really good left and right. So should be a really good side to side. Backwards is great. Forwards is good too because the chin goes underneath the front part. Shoulders will be all around. They feel like they're on a ratchet. Lateral raise appears to be improved slightly. Not great, but appears slightly more than some of the other Space Marine releases. He has the shoulder roll. Yes, got the small shoulder roll, which is good. Has a bicep swivel, which is good again. It's a bit stiff though. Unfortunately, this plate underneath his pauldron means his bicep bend stops at just under 90 degrees. If that wasn't there or slightly differently sculpted, or the forearm part here, he'll get 90 degrees plus. And then the same hand articulations on a double barbell joint, so he gets movement in all directions and he can turn. Trunk is going to be an issue because he's got this cape that goes all the way through, so it's like, yeah, that's not doing much at all. If I hold the legs, it'll be more his waist. Now he can turn via the waist and do articulated things. Side splits, again, sculpt's getting in the way. Forwards is not bad for his chunkiness. Backwards is alright for his chunkiness too. And then we have a thigh swivel with a double kneecap. Look at the not so ugly as before kneecap underneath. They've changed that, which is good. And then the foot is on the double barbell again, so he can turn, he can swivel, he can tippy toe, he can dorsiflexate, and he can toe articulate. In fact, looking at him, he is not that far off from being a knight in shining armour. You could buy a spare, cut off all the sci-fi parts, not that much to do in fact, and you've got a knight in shining armour. No backpack change that. You could maybe take off this if you wanted to, and you've got a really cool looking chunky hardcore knight, which I might consider for my fantasy troops. It wouldn't be that difficult to do. You can leave most of the pauldron stuff on as well, because that's sort of very medieval-esque in terms of looks. That'd be pretty damn cool. Nice figure. Let's stand him up and let's just measure him to the top of his head and then top of the backpack. So top of the head, I'm getting about 12-ish, is that right? Or just over 12, nearly 12 and a half. Top of the backpack getting around about 17, or just under. Now he is very, very gold for a Black Templar. So I've got a Black Templar sword brethren here. And you can see there is quite a vast difference. But they do work well together. Obviously he's had to change his tunic to a black one as opposed to the white one, otherwise it would just be gold and white. It would be nothing black about this Black Templar. But they do work well together. It's the sort of emblems, the iconography that makes them seem that they're in the same faction. Very, very cool indeed. To get an idea of size, use my custom Fortnite aim with the Fortnite fade head, which is a standard Fortnite size figure. You can see that they are big, big boys indeed. And then me saying that, you know, he'd be great in fantasy as a fantasy knight or something like that. Obviously he'd be massive in that scale, but I think he looked pretty good. So let's compare him to a boss fight studio. Let me take out my aim. I've got my Sigurd the Survivor. That's now his name, no longer the Wanderer or Sigurd the Dead. He keeps surviving all his encounters. Now, he's a standard boss fight studio size. You imagine that as a knight. Wow, that would be scary as anything if he was a knight using this great big sword. I'd have to change that sword if I was using for fantasy, but he would look pretty cool too. A really nice release. I do like him. I just wish there was more inking on that gold, but he does. The colours do pop a lot, and he does stand out. So it is a nice release. No improvements can be made. And articulation is pretty satisfactory, though again the shoulders, if they were slightly higher on the lateral rays, would make it nice again. Okay, so awesome still signing out, saying please like, share, subscribe, check out the Patreon, link in the description below along with discount codes. I'll see you next video soon. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye bye.